Okay, cool. Yo, what's going on? Rome, welcome to the podcast, bro.
Thanks, G. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, bro, absolutely. Absolutely. Just to introduce you, bro, Rome is one of my best friends, one of the best closers that I know. We close side by side for what, like 5 years. Currently managing an offer that's doing about 300 grand a month, scaling aggressively, managed multiple sales teams, closed on what, probably like 11, 12 different offers within the agency that we work together in. Yeah, I just wanted to bring you on, ask you a bunch of questions, talk a little bit about hiring, sales, being a manager. Um, you probably already know this, but most of my audience is, they're either already in sales or sales. Yeah, just wanted to ask a bunch of questions, bro, and be as valuable as possible for anybody coming up, help them make a bunch of money. But welcome,
Absolutely.
bro. Welcome in.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the intro.
Yeah, absolutely. But cool, bro. Do you want to just start out with like a quick background, come up story of, where you were at, how you failed for, and just how we got here?
Yeah, absolutely. Seems like your camera's glitching a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah, give you a little bit of background how I got here. Yeah, I mean, grew up absent father and first grandchild, first kid in the family, really. And I was bullied most of my life, and you'll see why I'm saying this in a bit. But I'm bullied most of my life, and was always secondary. Told I couldn't do things. I never had an opinion of what I wanted to do in my life. So that was my childhood. There wasn't a lot of good memories. Went to university, got a degree, worked as an engineer. My dad's plan. Realized that it was this golden fucking cage. It looked nice on paper, but inside, I mean, there's no real fucking freedom. And I realized that then. Started to look for a way out, drop shipping, Amazon, all these fucking complicated business models, failed, tried this, that, the other, Airbnb, name it, I tried it, bro. The biggest thing that I was struggling with all my life was talking to people. And one of my best friends at that time told me, bro, you should fucking do sales. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, that's your biggest fear. That's what you want to do. You want to be that guy who can go and talk to anybody and pick up any girl and you want to do this and that. Go to sales. And so I said, fuck it. I paid Daniel G to be my coach, to train me, and I went fucking all in.
How did you come across Daniel G stuff? You said it was an ad or something, right? That you saw?
Yeah, that Sami Khan, shout out Sami. He sent me that reel or that
Mm.
video. I don't think we had reels at that time, but he sent me that video from Daniel G saying he's looking to work with a couple reps, and he's like, bro, you should do this. And I was like, fuck it, let's do it. His
What year
closer
was
couldn't close me. He had to get Daniel G to close me, by the way.
that? Oh
Shout
yeah.
out, shout out Joseph Zita. He's a legend right now, bro.
That's funny. So you were still at IBM?
Yes, yes. So yeah, I got into IBM like that right after. I stayed there for a year and a couple months. Worked as an engineer, and then I tried Airbnb. I tried all these business models. Got a little bit of success. Got cocky. Quit real quick. But yeah, I got humbled real quick after that. Wasn't really sustainable business model. Then that's when I tried e-com, tried other things, and went broke so many fucking times. But yeah, sales. I'm like, sales is the highest paid profession in the world, and if I can learn sales, then I will get my way with life, and I won't ever feel insecure anymore. I won't be socially awkward, and I won't, be afraid to be in an elevator with somebody.
I think a lot of people think about it the opposite way, right? They're like, oh, like I suck at this skill, so I'm not going to want to get into it, right? That's interesting that was the opposite for you, where it was like, hey, like this is actually a weakness of mine, so let me get into sales to build on that.
Yeah,
That's cool, bro. So when did you start? Like when did you see the ad?
2019.
2019.
Yeah, 2019. Start. I was hesitant. I was hesitant. I'm like, I don't know if I should spend this money. Simon's like, bro, how much money did you spend last weekend at this spot? I'm like, quite a bit amount. It's like, well then, and what'd you get from that? I'm like, nothing. It's like, well, it's like this is a pretty fucking well-known guy. You at least learn one or two things from him. I'm like, okay, cool. 3 months in of training, Bro, it was one of the most difficult moments in my life at that point. I had to pick up the fucking phone and not, well, first of all, I had to, role play and all that stuff and get used to the script and whatever. And
Yeah.
then that's when Corona hit.
Right.
Rona hit, and so Daniel G was smart. Should I go into the story? Is that
Yeah, yeah,
relevant?
let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, okay, fuck, fitness coaches right now, they're gonna have a problem. They can't train people in house anymore. It has to be online. So we're gonna show them how to have an online presence. So I had to go and find leads. I'm like, where to find leads? Just go to Scope Leads, download a list of like all the gyms and call people. I'm like, okay, all right. So I called these leads. And guys, like I am very socially awkward person. I am calling out a gym owner or a personal trainer. I'm like the first one I remember. I'm uh, like hello, hung up, bro. Hung up. I'm like that's it. I'm not doing anything more today,
Because these people expressed no fucking interest. They didn't opt into anything. They didn't know who we were,
bro.
right?
The fuck I am exactly.
And how crazy is it that now everybody in our space, like they're so entitled, like the first role that they want to hop on, they expect to get all inbound calls. They expect to just have people showing up ready to buy. Um,
It's a
anyways,
privilege, bro. It's a fucking privilege for you to
yeah,
have a qualified lead coming on your fucking desk who is with high intent and ready to buy. Yeah, I had to call people. Don't know they don't even know that they have a problem. They're just stressing out right now. Like, fuck, what am I gonna do? And I'm like, hey, by the way, you have this problem, and like I can help you fix it if you want. But um, yeah. So 3 months passed by of me doing that shit. One of the hardest times of my life, and then started booking people in. And then one day, Daniel G saw me just consistent. I'm so consistent. I was coachable. I was applying everything he was telling me to do. And then he got me on an offer with Ty Lopez. And that was crazy for me. I mean, I couldn't believe it, bro. I'm like, wow, this is the first time in my life that I go balls to the wall for like 3 to 6 months and I don't give up, not a single day. And this is what happens. I'm like, fuck, I'm not even qualified for this. I don't think I was qualified. I for sure was not qualified. First month, $4,500 cash collected, not cash collected, commission. Second month, 16 grand commission. I remember fucking taking a video on my iPhone, walking to the bank. I'm like, I'm going to the bank right now. Um, third month, $23,000, and we ran it up, bro.
nice, bro. That's crazy. So you said it was 3 months on Scope Leads,
3 months of scope leads.
3 months of Scope Leads, and like how much money are you making during those 3 months?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. You're all day, every day. I mean, how many dials are you doing at that time?
I was doing realistically about 100 a day.
100 a day for 3 months, not really making any money. And then, just like that, opportunity falls in your lap, working with Ty. And then 3 months later, you're at 20K a month.
Uh-huh.
I think probably because, like I kind of mentioned, a lot of people who try to get into our game, like they're looking for these crazy offers right off the bat, and like they're afraid of doing any type of cold calling or doing any kind of real work, right? And I feel like there's even like for me, bro, there's been a lot of points where I've been selling on offers and like things haven't been going the way that I expect them to go, but like part of me, I would. There's always a little bit of doubt in those moments, but like part of me always knew that, hey, like I'm going through this right now, but like I'm learning the skills, I'm building up the toughness, because there's going to be an opportunity that comes my way and things are going to move in my direction. And I found like because most people would quit in those 3 months, right? Like you get into this new sales thing, like you're calling every day, you're not making any money. Like most people would quit. Why do you think you kept going at that point?
Because I promised myself that I will give it a year and I will do everything in my power to, like, I'm thinking, like, I want to do this for a year. And when I get to that year and I got to look back and say, I've done everything in my power and it didn't work for me, I'll move on. But 3 months for me wasn't enough. Every time I wanted to give up, I'm like, this is exactly what happened to Airbnb. It's exactly what happened with drop shipping. It's exactly what happened to Amazon FBA. It's exactly what happened with the real estate thing. Just fucking gave up. Um, but I didn't. I'm like, I fucking see this through. And obviously you gotta ask for more. Like the thing is, like with Daniel, like I was calling the scope leads, but I didn't say anything, bro. Like I wasn't like trying to go and get help. Hey, I had this call. What should I say here and this and that? I just did it again and again and again, which was like, yo, what? I could have shortened that and just asked for more help. Yo, what am I doing wrong here? Can you listen to one of my calls?
Yeah.
Things would have been moving a lot fucking faster. But I didn't. I did not go out of my way to ask for help. I'm like, I'll figure it out.
Right. Okay. Cool. And I know you used to do that, where you used to drive from what? Was it Montreal, Ottawa? I don't know where you were
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
time.
yeah. Yeah, so I used to, at this time, I was living in Ottawa,
Mm.
capital of Canada. And yeah, when I got the opportunity to make more money, I would uh, literally drive for 4 hours and a half, 5 hours just to see Dylan, just to see the team, so he can listen to my call. That is
Mm.
the reason why I would drive for 5 hours on a weekend and then back just so I can sit down and listen to my call. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice, bro. Yeah, I remember at that time, like, because we had two offices. So it's like just for people watching, like we had it was a sales agency, and we had two offices out here in Toronto, right? One in Markham, one in Mississauga. One of them was Daniel's office, which you were at, and then I was in the Markham office with Dylan, Amon, and all those guys. And I remember, bro, because this is like through COVID, right? So all we're doing, we're just at the office every day, 12 hours a day. We would hear like stories about you, bro. Like you were like a legend at the time because I never met you. It was like 1 or 2 years where I knew about you, and I would hear that like, yeah, you would come in, listen to a call with Dylan, and you were putting up crazy numbers. I remember seeing a story from Daniel posting it with you rocking the Levi's jean jacket with the Sherpa, and it was like Daniel was like, yeah, like, people ask me, how do you make 20 grand a month? You got to be like Rome. Rome works 7 days a week. He's here first. He's last to leave. It's like putting up a sale on the board. But no, bro, that's really cool. So you're selling with Ty, and then I guess like what's like the short version of 2020 all the way up to 2025 and where we're at now. You can
Uh,
go long if you want. If there's something important in there you want to go deeper on.
um, how do So yeah, we were doing Thai. We did that for a little while, and then wanted to stop doing that. He wanted to pause drop shipping. Started selling different offers.
Right.
It was like a fucking blur. Like I'm trying to think about it. It was like a blur. From 2020, long story short, to 2023, it was like we hopped on a bunch of offers, like 15, like yeah, probably 10 offers. I've done about 16 in my career so far, maybe 17 now. But yeah, I was just jumping offer to offer, learning about different business models, and realizing what true fucking closing meant. Because when I sold for Ty, the reason why I did made so much money right away wasn't because I was just had this gift inside of me and I just slayed. No, I was lucky that Ty just launched. He had already big personal brand. He just launched it, and everybody was already in love with Ty. So I'm just taking credit cards over the phone. What would you like to pay? Amex, Mastercard. What would you like to pay? It was so easy. I realized how fucking hard sales was when they didn't know Ty for months and years. Then you actually had to shine. So those 4 years, 3 years after that, it was just me learning how to actually sell properly, understanding how to solve a fucking problem, how to find the pain points, how to build rapport. So it's just learning. Until this day, I'm learning. Until this day, I'm learning. Started stepping into a leadership role. Started. I remember sitting there with Dylan at that time. And Dylan, obviously the one who was the CEO of the agency, was building out sales teams for these companies. And I was visiting from Ottawa. I'm like, bro, I want to be a manager, bro. And he looked at me, he was like, then be a manager. What are you waiting for? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, Rome, you're a manager. I'm like, okay. So basically what he meant to, you want to be that person, start stepping into them then. start going and helping other people. Start doing the things what a manager would do, and you will get rewarded. Exactly what happened with me. Exactly what happened with you. And then I don't know if you want to go into MC. We
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so 2023 October, I believe, we realized that we're making so much money for these guys and taking only, our cut. Why don't we, we're so good at sales. Why don't we start our own coaching, right? And that's exactly what we did. Uh, we ran ads. We did exactly what we were doing for other clients, and we fulfilled, right? And then we had a crazy track record in terms of what we've done. So that was great. We did a couple of mil, 2 years. That was amazing. It was a lot of fucking work. We learned a lot as well because like we train hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yeah,
Learning something is one thing, and then you teach it. That's like gives you like next level insight of like um, this is one thing to learn. It's a whole different game to explain it. Remember on my first coaching call, like I was tripping balls. I didn't even know how to explain sales, bro.
yeah,
So that definitely like helped with mastery. And I'm not saying I'm a master yet, but definitely helping with that. Help with that.
yeah, yeah. No, that was a really cool experience looking back on starting that because we've both seen offers that like we've closed for and that we've taken to like high six figures a month, millions a month, and then the face of the offer, they just stop giving a fuck about fulfillment. They slow down. They don't really care about their people. Dealing with refunds, chargebacks. Like we've seen that before. And it was cool because when we started ours, like we did the complete opposite. Like we probably like bro, honestly, like we over fulfilled on that. Where it was what were we doing like 8 coaching calls a week at one point? I feel like we
Bro,
were doing
8 coaching calls a week.
we were doing 5 boot camps, right? 30 minutes in the morning every day, and then on top of that, an extra 5. We're doing 10 live calls a week, one-on-one, weekly one-on-one training,
Yeah.
weekly call review with voice note feedback, um, for 5K. Like that was crazy, bro. But looking back, it's like yeah, you're right though, right? Because it's like we had so much experience training and like spending so much time with so many different types of people who like struggle with different things. And yeah, 100%. Like when you're teaching something, you really internalize what you know to just such a deep level where it's like one, now we can obviously apply that to what we're doing and make us a lot better, but like two, we can now systemize that, document it. We just have such a more nuanced understanding of sales now that we can take into managing sales teams or whatever, right? But
Very,
yeah,
very bad experience. At that time, obviously, I'm like, fuck, gotta do all this and this and that. It's a lot of work, bro. But we had to fulfill. But it was I'm glad we did. Um,
yeah,
we did
yeah.
that. There's bro, how many people right now like fucking killing it doing 30K months?
Yeah, no, great era. We created like the next that like generation of closers, bro. It's crazy because like every couple months I'll like randomly run across someone when I'm like applying for an offer or like if I'm opting into some kind of funnel, I'll get hit up by someone that we worked with 3 years ago. Oh yeah, making like there was one guy. I opted in for Hermosi's funnel. I was looking into one of his events, and I got a call from Xavier, who we worked with like 3 years ago. He's like, "Hey, bro, like, like every couple months I'll have a moment like that. It's crazy."
It is, bro.
Um, but cool, sick. Let's get into some hiring, bro. Everybody, or a lot of the people who follow my stuff, and really like the number one question is, how do you land quality offers, right? How do you find them? How do you land them? What does that entire process look like? I think a lot of people just don't really know what they're doing as they're going through that process, and a lot of people are just at a pretty big disadvantage.
Yeah.
Um, you've been managing teams now for the last like 3 years, right? I guess how has the way that you approach hiring changed since when you first started managing after seeing so many reps now?
Um, a lot, bro. So, I mean, before I would take anybody who is just hungry, little experience, some sort of sales background experience, and I would go and coach them and, spend a lot of time doing that. And then I realized that is the reason why the offers were not doing great, is because of the talent that I was hiring. So right now, you know,
Yeah.
I hire people with experience. They have to have experience. They have to be intelligent. They have to be curious. Um, but experience is very important, especially in, like, for example, I have an e-com offer that I'm running. Um, I will only hire people who have experience with e-com, who've done a couple million, or something impressive within the last year minimum, right? Um, what else?
Is there, let me ask you this, because that's another big question, right? Because yeah, when someone has experience under their belt, it's so much easier to bring them on board, hire them, ramp them up. Has there ever been a time where you hired somebody with less experience than someone else because of something that they did on the interview process, something that stood out to you?
Yes, it's who they're being trained by. Like, I've had people come in and tell me, like, listen, I just spent 2, 3 months, but I just spent, X amount of money with this guy, and I know who that guy is, and I know I know he's a really good coach. So as long as I know that they are actively being coached right now by somebody else, it's good, because I don't have time to teach you and sales. I don't have time to do that. You have to come in already knowing sales uh, and execute. So I do that, but I don't give them inbound calls right away. Like, I don't put them on book calls. They will be starting on outbound. I'll give them a little bit older leads, 2, 3 weeks, month, 2 months, and I would like to see performance. I like to see performance progression, and then I start feeding them book calls. So yeah, I do that on the outbound team, as long as I know that they're actually being coached, because that way I know they already committed because they put the money where the mouth is, and they're already in training because they can just go and get feedback, get help from them, versus take my time and do that.
Right, right. Are there any specific because yeah, I know you've done a lot of hiring from that one individual that you told me about. Um, I've also sent you a couple guys. I sent them on a couple guys. Um, are there like any skills and anything specific that you like for people just coming up trying to land their first couple roles, right? Like, what are the specific skills that they need to have? Like, what do they need to be good with, very comfortable with, for them to go on and hop on an offer similar to yours and do really well?
It's a good question. Skills. It's funny. I just got distracted because one of you guys just closed a 2.5K right now.
Oh
So
yeah, Eric. Shout out to Eric. All right, we gotta say now we have to.
2.5K. When's
Nice.
when's the remaining? Okay, not bad.
Well, okay. Let me ask you this because Eric didn't have any closing experience, right? He
Right.
was brand new.
Mhm.
I trained him for like maybe a month, maybe 30 days, like a little bit less than that. And you brought him on board. Why did you bring on someone like him on board as opposed to someone who potentially had more experience?
It's a good question. Well, number one, for the reason I said earlier, I know he works with you, and so I'm confident that if he works with you, he'll do well. And you recommended him to me. I'm sure you wouldn't recommend anybody to me who you don't think that they have capability. So that was really like based on like trust.
Mm.
Other things would be the way that he took feedback. Obviously, showing up on time, all that, great, being respectful, but the way he took feedback. So I didn't expect a good role play, but he did a pretty good role play. I gave him feedback, and he was able to implement that feedback right away on the second role play. So that for me checks off coachability,
Nice.
right? That's one. Another thing I did is I explained the business model to him. I'm like, this is exactly what we do. He's like, okay. I'm like, explain it back to me. He explained it back to me. So I'm like, okay, he's intelligent. Great, pass. And then he asked questions. Okay, this guy's curious. Pass. Good. I'm like, this guy's gonna be a dog. He was hungry, bro. I just felt like he's gonna do well and doing pretty good, man, for someone who's never done sales before.
Nice. Those are three really good points. How do you What? So obviously, like, when you do a hiring round, right? Like when you're well, now you guys are basically always hiring, right?
Yeah.
Like on a weekly basis, you're hiring reps. So how do you do that? Like you might just hire reps over the course of 2 weeks, and then bring on what, like 3 to 5 reps, and then onboard them all at once, or like what does that process look like for you? And how many reps do you hire every month right now?
hmm So prior, we used to post on Facebook groups, but that wasn't that great because of the amount of volume we would get from people who are not qualified.
Yeah.
And the looms that would have to watch sit down, most of them not qualified. So what we did was we hired a few staffing agencies, and they were the ones that would go and find these and vet them for us, and then send us like a list of people who are like qualified with their experience and the track record, and specifically where they close and all that stuff. So that was a big game changer in terms of saving time. Obviously, costs money, but like time is money as well. And when you're at that point in an offer doing multiple six figures a month, that's a drop
Yeah.
in the bucket,
Yeah.
because they'll make it back like in a day or two, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, staffing agencies helped a lot. How many people I would hire? Um, well, right now it's a little different. Right now I do about 2 3 interviews a week. I'd say I would hire about one person a week right now for a month on this specific offer.
Okay.
But it's like slowing down because I've already found like my like top dogs right now, and I'm just leaning out the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a continuous cycle, bro.
Okay. So out of let's say like when you hire 4 reps in a month, right? How many of those do you keep?
Well, right now, because I am getting a lot better at this, I would say I would hire 4 people, probably keep two.
Okay, nice. Yeah, about 50%. So like when you hire 4 reps, like you're expecting that you're gonna have 2 guys longer term.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, well, people sometimes kill it on the interview and make you feel like they're going to be the one, but like it will only take me about 5 to 7 days to feel like you are not the one. So,
Right. What do you? Because I wanted to ask you about that. Like, what's different between guys who come in and like ramp up quickly? They put up numbers, first week, and they're scaling versus people who, you would end up firing because they just don't figure it out.
honestly, the fucking basics, bro. Like, they're on time, they're on it, they post their end of day reports, their speed to lead. Lead comes in, they're on it right away. Like, that's how I know he's hungry and this guy's serious, right? Versus somebody who's like didn't respond to somebody texted them 2 3 hours ago and they're still waiting for a response, right? I will address it like, hey, by the way, like speed to lead, it's important, this and that. They don't listen, done, you're done. And communication. They're like, what I noticed, the top reps will message me like, "Yo, bro, I just had this call. Like, I know I could have closed it, but I didn't. Like, I don't know what I could have done. Like," and they would send me the call. Like, can you please review it? Right? They're like actively going and seeking help. They want to get better. So those people I don't have to like babysit and go check up on. Like, they're in touch and they're very, very good with communication.
Right. So they're like on point with all the little things. Like they don't miss with those simple little daily tasks. They're communicating. They're asking for help. They're coachable.
Coachable.
Why do you say all of that before performance? Like
Uh,
would you accept someone who's like really struggling, like putting up fucking, I don't know, they put up like a couple $1,000 their first month in sales. If everything else they had on point, would you keep them around?
I mean, are they coachable? Like, if
Yeah,
they're
they're coachable, great communicators, on point with all of the little things, but they're not performing.
yes, yeah, not for too long. Probably give them
Yeah,
some.
but it's
Probably
just
give them maybe another month, bro. Like, I have one guy right now in my team that's been over a month, and he's coachable. He's trying. I'm gonna give another month. I'm spending time with him, and at this point, it's all about him applying what I'm telling him to do, right? And if that doesn't happen, then yeah, he's gonna have to find another role.
Yeah, I think that's important for people to know because I was listening to Cole Gordon had a podcast like that one up I think like last week with somebody. He was talking about how like when he was a sales rep on the first offer that he got on, and the first big one that he was on, like he was the worst guy on the team. Like he was not good whatsoever. But just because he was like trying insanely hard, people were like, yo, like he's gonna get good eventually. Like we can't get rid of him, you know. And I feel like a lot of it comes down to that because yeah, people do churn out pretty quick, but it's not for the reasons what that people think, you
Mhm.
know.
What do you find? What do you mean? It's not for the reason people think.
Well, people think it comes out of a skill set, right? Like people think that they need to be like gods at objection handling or have like this insane, aura on calls and be able to just ask all these, very nuanced quality questions, right? Where like obviously, yeah, all that stuff is really important, but like month one, honestly, like none of that shit matters. Like in my opinion, I think month one is it's like you said, everything that you mentioned, and just being all over it, right? Just being the hardest worker on the team, wanting to get better. And then it's like if you do those things, regardless of your skill set of where you're at, like you are going to position yourself to be a top dog on the team. Like there's a lot more things that are in your control than are outside of your control.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people get that twisted.
100%, bro. And like, I'm glad they brought that up because, like, my top guy right now on the team um, is somebody who I hired 3 weeks ago. Okay, and one of the top guys, I three weeks ago. This is I'm trying to show you a screenshot here.
Try not to put sensitive information on the thing again, bro.
Well, look, he did $86,000. He has the highest EPL in the last 3 weeks, and he sucks at objection handling. He's not good at objection handling. He has this framework that he uses, analogies and things like that. I'm like, bro, that is not a objection handle. But he's so good in the beginning of the call. Doesn't get a lot of objections. But like right now, we're training objection handling, right? So no, you don't. A lot of on interviews, people are like, "Are we gonna do objection handling?" Like I train objection handling. I'm like, bro, I don't fucking like to train objection handling because you should be able to pre-handle all those before that
Yeah,
happens. We will
yeah.
train objection handling for sure. You need to know how to do it because it will happen, but that's not my focus.
Most of your sales should be no objections. You should be right at the end. You should either be collecting or putting a payment plan together, but you should be closed by then.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice. You said you hired him 3 weeks ago, and he's your top guy?
hmm he's the top guy right now in terms of EPL. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Anything about him that's just different, that stands out? Like anything that he's good with that allowed him to do that?
Honestly, bro, he's just on it. Like he's just on it, bro. Like call comes in, gets booked, gives him a call. Hey, notice you booked a call with me. This and that. Triages them. Qualifies them, making sure they're actually a qualified lead, so he doesn't waste his time with them the next day for the next day. Because if they're financially not qualified, we cancel the call and he gets another call. So he has more probability of closing that day because he has more leads that are more qualified. Right now, not all offers will allow you to do this. I'm very grateful to be in an offer where we have a lot of volume and we can do this. But he doesn't miss steps. He doesn't get lazy, bro. He shows up like yesterday was fucking zero. He doesn't get lazy. He still follows the basics. He still follows his process. And we continue on. Like he's the only one, not the only one, but he's the one reaching out to me the most for help.
Mm,
Even though he's doing like right now, past 3 weeks, in terms of earnings per lead, like on showed, he's at 1,100 EPL.
nice. Good.
Good.
Solid.
So
Nice.
he's not happy. He's disappointed, bro. He's disappointed. We had a review with him yesterday. He wasn't happy. He was like, "My numbers suck."
Nice, bro. I mean, my takeaway is just like how much of a fuck do you give? Like how much do you truly care about your leads on a given basis? How much do you care about every single prospect that you speak to? How much do you care about your own skill sets and getting better? No, that's awesome. Anything else in terms of like difference between reps that ramp up quickly versus ones that don't? Anything else come to mind there?
Uh, um, Other than that, nothing comes to mind. No, just you're hungry, bro, and they want to learn, they want to get better. They're fucking hungry. They're obsessed. See,
Let
obsessed.
me, let me ask you this: what's something that like someone would do or say within an interview process, which would make you disqualify them immediately, regardless of how good everything else is?
When I ask them, so I do a role play, and then I ask them, how do you think you did? And they said I did very good. We're not hiring them because that shows that, well, many things, but like they cannot take accountability. They don't have. They think that there's no room for improvement. So that's like immediately not hiring.
Nice, solid. Um, okay, how have you because we've been talking the last couple of days about like triage stuff, appointment setting, whatever. Um, Obviously, like our game is totally different from what it was in like 2020, 21, when it was just you're just a fucking cashier all day, right? It's not that easy anymore. The game changes, game develops, people get more skeptical and more sophisticated. They understand the funnels, the questions, whatever. Has there been any like adjustments that you've made to maybe the sales call framework that you follow, maybe the sales process overall? I know you guys are doing a lot more like pre-call stuff with like triaging and setting now. But like any big changes that you guys made this year?
In terms of what we're saying on calls, or
In terms of, yeah, I mean, I guess like it's a two-part question, like what you're saying on calls and also sales process.
yeah, so like right now we have automations in place. So whenever somebody comes in, books a call, they automatically get a message saying, "Hey, just noticed you booked in the call with me," and we ask them to hop on a call so we can make that call a more productive call. So that's automated, right? So they respond back. Closer, well, right now we have a call confirmation guy that will give them a call and like vet them out. For like outbound too, like for the outbound guys, for the setters, as soon as a front, a low ticket offer comes in, there's an automatic text message. Hey, this is this with this team. Notice you picked up this bundle. I just wanted to reach out, see how we can help you get the most out of it. Right? Give a few minutes to chat, and they respond. We get on it really quickly. So that's in terms of speed to lead. And I mentioned that because that's very fucking important.
Yeah,
Because when people buy, like that time is when they buy is when they have the highest intent, right? Their emotions, whatever they were feeling when they bought it, is up. So you want to catch them there, and they're 7 times more likely to close. That's what
right.
it says, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that.
Um, on the call,
And, yeah, go ahead.
on the call itself, anything we changed? I mean, the
Well,
framework.
bro,
Go ahead.
before we get into that, bro, you mind if I just ask you about this?
Sure.
So speed to lead, and you said immediate call, like immediate triage, like within the first couple of minutes of them booking in, or of them opting in, or whatever.
Yes.
And you guys have done that. You guys have systemized that to where, like, you guys have setters, you have triage callers. I don't know what you call them. Then you have closers. So you've systemized it. We're like now at scale. What you guys are probably getting like I don't know dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of leads every single day. Where like
100.
everybody who comes through, they're getting a call within 5 minutes.
Correct.
That's
Well, within
fucked,
30
bro.
minutes. Yeah, I mean, the goal is within the minute, like right away, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure, like within 30 minutes.
Right. Yeah. Then that's where like the CRM automations and all the crazy stuff you were telling me
Yes.
about the other day coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yes, yeah. It's really cool. Comes in, goes. It's assigned to the closer and the setter. If the setter closer doesn't touch it within an hour, it goes to the everyone pool, so that speed to lead.
Nice. Anything you guys changed up on sales calls? What you saying on call?
Uh, a few things. I would say we don't really set the agenda in the beginning anymore. I mean, we used to set the agenda. Hey, what I want to do on this call, ask you a couple questions, get to know you, see if and how I can help you, this and that. You could. One of my guys still does it. It works for him. Um, what else would we change on calls?
So you just jump straight in, like you just say, "Yo, what's going? What's up? How you doing? Okay, great. Give me some background on yourself."
No. So it's a good question. So we want to start with you have this authority frame, right? That they're coming to you, right? I don't like the, hey, I want to ask you a couple questions, see how I can help you. I mean, it's okay, it works, but versus what we say is like one of the two things. Hey, looks like you booked a call and get some possible help with the e-com to make more money, more this, more freedom. Does that sound does that sound about right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. So either like, how can I help? Or not really. Some of my guys say, "Well, how can I help?" Some of them say, so yeah, what was kind of the intention behind getting into X, Y, and Z, right? Because we want to know, like, what's the intention? Why did this human being whip out the 16 digits and buy it and book a call? Like, what's the intention behind that?
Right.
That's
And when you say buy it, you're talking about like the low ticket offer,
the
right?
low ticket. Yeah, what was the intention behind booking a call? What was the intention behind whatever, right? If you're doing
Right.
outbound, what was the intention behind getting a bundle? What were you trying to hope? What were you trying to get out of it? And the tonality is important, by the way, like very important. So, like, hey, Misha, it seems like you booked a call and get some possible help with e-com and all that, to make more money, more freedom, all that jazz. Sound about right? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, what was the intention behind getting into something like this?
Nice. Nice. Just straight Jeremy Minor on that, huh?
Verbal pausing, bro. It's important. You're talking to a
Yeah.
human being. They need time to like parse what you just said. If
Mhm.
you want a juicy response, then you need to use this tonality. Otherwise, then if you say, "So yeah, what were you hoping to get out of it?" They're gonna say, "Well, I just want to make more money."
Right, right, right. When you slow down, and then also too, it's what you said as well, where you're establishing immediate authority, right? In the first couple seconds of the call, where instantly it's like you want to set yourself apart from all these other untrained, shitty fucking players who suck that people have all had bad experiences with.
Yeah.
That's actually really good. I like that a lot. That's cool.
And another thing that we started doing, which I like, is pitch the price before the program.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to not. This has happened really recently, bro. I saw one of the guys do it, a couple of guys, and they were closing. I'm like, huh, interesting. Let me go and see. Let me try it myself. And I was like, okay, it works.
It does make the call so much easier.
Yeah.
How do you do it? How do you go about doing it?
Yeah, and so, from everything we shared, it seems like what you're looking for closely aligns with what we do. You got a paper and pen handy? Yeah, okay. Can you go ahead and write down $5,000? That's going to be the investment for the program. And, we can talk about how we can potentially split that up into more manageable payments. And right under that, I want you to go ahead and write down numbers one, two, and three. And I want you to write down your three driving factors, three reasons why you're doing this. Let me know when you're done.
Really?
Pause.
Wow.
Okay.
That's it.
And then they start writing down, right? They see that they have $5,000, see the three reasons why they want to do this. Okay, good. Now this is the game plan, bro. This is how we're gonna get you to $5,000 a month so you can go and marry your cousin on a fucking cloud and whatever.
Do you ever get a price objection right there?
Well, here's the thing, like sometimes, and not necessarily a price objection, but you'll got to look at their face because when you say $5,000, and then they write down the three things, whatever, and then when you're talking to them about the program, you're seeing like they're like, they're like stunned or something,
Right.
right?
Right. Yeah.
Problem, you got to notice it, and you got to address that. What I see some of the guys were doing, like they just continued on talking when the person wasn't even looking for them. They're looking at their face, or they had their hand around on their face, right? And you got to address that. Hey, dude, you good? Did you get a heart attack? Is everything okay?
Right.
Like, no, it's just a lot of money. Hey, m let's put the money aside for a sec. You know, um,
Nice.
don't worry about the money. Let me show you the game plan. What we're gonna do. We talk about the money later.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's really easy to get stuck in your ways in terms of just like what you do and what your process is, and I know I'm definitely guilty of that. But oh, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, cool. So no agenda, price drop before program. What do you think about this? Because I was looking at like one of the guys that I trained, still training. He hopped on a mobility offer, right? So this was like it was like a something like a 7-8K offer for people who want to like fix their shit, stop experiencing pain.
Right.
And they were like really adamant about you start digging deep on pain after you get goals, right? And you do that more with consequence, right? Where what we've done for the longest time is you start in situation, get some context on where they're at, what they do, then you start digging deep on pain, goals, challenge,
Yeah.
right? Do you guys still follow the same approach, or have you changed that?
I know I haven't changed it, and I've tried the other approach. This is the best fucking approach, bro. This is the
Why do you
best.
think so? Because a lot of people do that now. A lot of people do that. A lot of people will start out calls with like, okay, great. So like, what's your biggest challenge
Goal?
with XYZ
What?
goal, or even starting it straight out with challenge?
Like, bro, you haven't built enough rapport with this with your prospect for them to tell you like what are their challenges and what are their goals. You're a stranger. You just met them. Why do you expect them to tell you what are they struggling with right away? It's not how it works. You got to
Right.
build rapport. You got to make them like you. You got to show interest. You have to understand their situation. Why are they even looking to something like this? Why do they just stay with what they're doing right now? Right? Qualify them
Mhm.
first. Understand them. They'll respect you more for that, right? Because you're not trying to sell them. You're like, dude,
Mhm.
it seems like it's not that bad. Like, it doesn't seem that crazy. Why don't you just continue doing that or get another job? Like,
Mhm.
build rapport first, find some pain, and then be like, okay, well, then what's your goal with this then? What are you really trying to accomplish, right? You figure out the point A, you figure out the point B, where they're trying to go, right? And then after that is when you challenge them and consequence them, right? Figure out where A, B, and then it's like how, and then understand what's been holding them back from point
Mhm.
A to point B, because whatever was holding them back, I swear to you, will be the same reason they're not going to close, right? And we can go
Mhm.
into that, but I don't.
Yeah,
I
but if you start with challenge though, if you start with challenge, like it's so much harder to get to the real shit that's held them back because you haven't even established like proper intentions, pain, and why they're even trying to do this in the first place,
Yeah,
right? And you can't find pain until like you can properly like build rapport, get someone comfortable enough to actually open up to you, and to demonstrate to them that like yeah, like I'm detached from the sale, like I'm here to help you, I have good
yeah,
intentions, I'm a real human being.
yeah.
Um, no, interesting. There was one point that I wanted to talk to you about, and it was on my mind before when we were talking about like difference between reps who crush it early versus ones who don't, and it just came back to me. But what do you think about this? Because I think at the end of the day, like it's very easy to find, reframes, fucking scripts. You watch a live call recording, watch a reel, get a Google document, recite the same words out loud over and over. Like everybody has access to that, but some people do significantly better than other people, right? And I think a big difference, and really the main difference is, what you say versus how you say it. But when it comes to how you say it, sure you can fake some tonality and you can kind of like work on that, but I think at the end of the day, like some people just like deeply know that they're that motherfucker. They just know that they're that guy, and they have like just stronger confidence in themselves,
Yeah.
and then other people don't.
Mhm.
And then it makes everything that you say on a sales call come across as completely different based off of just your internal conversation and your level of self-esteem, really,
Cool.
right?
Yeah.
What do you think about that, bro?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, bro. Like for example, somebody like Eric, who's brand new, he's not a bitch, bro. He doesn't bitch and complain. he trusts the process, right? He trusts the process and he understands this will take time. And that's a big thing. Like you have to believe that it is possible and you're in the trenches right now and you just have to earn your way up, you know? But in terms of like, I'm trying to understand your question, bro.
Like, do you remember there was a guy in the office where we used to always say, like, this guy's just delusionally fucking confident.
Yeah.
You remember that guy? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, yes. Yeah. Smiley, yeah.
Right? I think that's a big part of it too, right? Where it's like you gotta, I mean, either you need to, just naturally, I guess, have a big. I feel like for me, bro, I feel like for me, it's kind of similar to like what you were saying earlier. It's like when I first got into sales, like I didn't really have a lot of self confidence.
Right.
Like I didn't really think I was that guy.
Yeah.
And like I doubted myself a lot, and all of that shit, right? But I think like through sales, I was like trying to work on like frameworks or role plays and training. But like the real shift for me was when I just started dialing in like everything else in my life. And I started like working on my identity, like the way that I see myself, and having like a proper fucking routine, and like cutting out the bullshit in my life. Like for me, that was like from making 3K a month to making 20K a month. Obviously there's other components that influence that, but I think the way that you see yourself and just your level of confidence is fucking first and foremost when it comes to sales. I don't really see a lot of people talking about that.
Absolutely. So let me say this. Obviously, people who are probably watching this are, still getting into the game. People who are watching this, I will most likely not hire you because you haven't earned the right to be on a team like mine. You haven't been through the trenches. You haven't done thousands of dials, right? You haven't failed and continued. You're not resilient yet. I don't trust you to be on a team like mine, and you don't deserve it. That's a fucking fact. And if you come in, you're insecure and this and that, and like you're not confident, that just means that you have, yeah, some people just have it. God bless. I'm one who didn't have it. You didn't have it, Misha, as well. I would argue that you were a little bit more confident than I was. Um, and what gave me confidence was success. What gave me confidence was me doing the hard shit and not giving up and then seeing results is what gave me confidence. So for y'all out there who looking for roles, apply to as many roles as you can. Hop on as many interviews as you can. You're gonna fuck up the first interview, and you're gonna have to be okay with that. So, and learn from every interview. Go watch it back. What did I do wrong? What could I have done better? What else do I need to work on? Just apply to as many opportunities as you can, and you get what you get, and you don't get upset. And then you got to give it a chance, right?
Well, you get what you deserve, right? At the end of the day, it's like if you want to sell for, high quality offers, high OTE, great teams. It's like you need to be the type of closer and the type of individual that's capable of being a part of that team, right? And like it's in sales, it's like it's there's no handouts, right? It's like you literally get what you deserve, like it's very black and white. Um,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think a very easy exercise for everybody here to do that I wish somebody told me to do was like write down who you're obviously you're watching this right now and you're getting into it because you feel like you deserve more and you want more out of life and you want to be at whatever point, whatever your goal is, and you want to be this type of person. Write down who are you trying to be? Who are you trying to be? How do you dress? How do you walk? How do you talk? How do you make decisions? What are your character traits? Probably somebody who's disciplined, probably somebody who's hungry, probably somebody who's resilient, probably somebody who is a problem solver that'll go out his way and try to figure it out. Whenever you're stuck and you don't know what to do, think about who the fuck you're trying to be and be like him right now. And start stepping into that person, then you'll see beautiful things happen. The universe, God will just give you breadcrumbs every day. It doesn't take long, as long as you commit and step into that person every day. And it's okay to some days to feel self-doubt, but I promise you, if you're on this right now and you feel doubt, if you feel self-doubt, that probably means you're not doing jack shit. You're not taking massive action, period. That's how you take massive action.
Outwork it. Yeah, hell yeah, bro. Oh yeah. I was gonna ask you. You hiring right now, but for anybody who's up for the challenge, and anyone who's, for real, if you're experienced and you're looking for a role, you can always find Rome on IG. I'm sure he'll respond to some of you, maybe not all of you. Any final words, Rob, before we wrap this up? I thought that last message that you just dropped, I think that's so important. That's so key. I love that.
Yeah, no, that's it. I think we should leave it at that, bro.
Cool, cool. Let's do it. Sick. You're coming back to YouTube, right? You retired for a little bit, but you're back in the game now.
I did, bro. I did retire. I'm going back. I'm coming back, bro. Uh,
Nice.
God willing, bro, my video will go up this week. And people on this video can hold me accountable, bro. My video is gonna go up on the 21st of November latest,
Okay.
2025.
All right. All right. We'll see. All right. Links are all down in the description, Rome. I appreciate you, bro. This was sick.
Love you, G.
I think a lot of people are going to get a lot of value from this. And you're welcome on again, bro. Anytime.
Bye.
Once you guys hit 1 million a month, we'll run it back.
Let's fucking do this, bro. I appreciate you, G. I'll see you soon, Habibi. Much love.
Thanks, bro. Yeah.